What's up, Attack MMA? I'm your host, Zac Pauga. Today, we got a very special guest. He's a professional fighter with a 14-5 record and he's fighting for UFC at UFC Fight Night June 17th. Please welcome Modestas Bukauskas. Modestas, how you doing today, my friend?
Yeah, doing very well. Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me on, mate.
It's a pleasure, man. And before we talk about the fight, I kind of like to get to know you, kind of like to know where you originally came from. So, how and when did you originally get into MMA?
Um, well, my dad was my main was my main sort of idol, I
Yeah.
guess you could say early on. He competed back in the day. He was a no holds barred Soviet Union heavyweight champion. So you best believe when he told me to clean my room, I had to I best clean my fucking room, you know what I mean? So he got me into martial arts when I was like five. Got me doing kickboxing and sambo early on, and we competed in kickboxing, did a load of judo, and I had a little bit of a little break away from MMA to try and pursue other sports such as basketball. I actually went to America for 2 years, and then yeah, pretty much as soon as I came home, there was no like real solid scholarship offers on the table, so I decided to get into MMA, come back home, and throw some fisticuffs.
Yeah. And I know your dad's been a huge role in your life and your MMA career. So, what would you say is the biggest life lesson that your dad has taught you?
Biggest life lesson. Um, Probably don't be a lazy cunt. Is one of them. One story actually that really resonates with me that like I remember to this day, which is why I kind of just always keep up a good work ethic. I remember I was getting a bit lazy. I had a hernia operation, and then I used to train all the time, and then I kind of just got very lazy for like 6 weeks, and like I was just doing nothing, just literally sitting and watching TV, and then I remember he just came into the room one day and just went absolutely mental. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like sitting here? You say you want to be a bloody?" Because at the time I was playing tennis. He goes, "Oh, you say you want to be a bloody good
Yeah.
tennis player, and you're out here fucking sitting on your ass. Like you should be in the bloody gym training." And he said, "Do you know what? Fine. Don't do anything. You just sit there. You just enjoy yourself." I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
Straight away, I just went into the gym, and then ever since then, I kind of never looked back. So one of them is, I guess you could say, always work hard. Um, and the other is just to never give up. You want something. You're good at something. Stay true to the course. Stay true to the journey. Don't let setbacks put you down. And just yeah, I think he's always told me to believe in myself. That's one. That's one main thing is that he's always taught me to believe in myself, no matter what, and no matter what anyone else thinks.
That's really great, man. Great way to push you. And I noticed that you've only had one amateur fight in your career. So, what made you go to the pro scene so fast?
I've actually had eight
Oh,
amateur fights, but I don't know. Maybe the promotion that I fought for wasn't on Tapology or
yeah,
Sherdog
that's probably
or
it.
anything like that. I fought in the very early days of when amateur fights were even about. I think,
Gotcha.
especially in the UK, or not many promotions were sort of available at the time, or none that were you know, sort of associated with certain regulatory boards and whatever. So, I actually won a light heavyweight title as an amateur, and I also defended it once. And actually, the reason why I went to pro was because I couldn't get me an opponent. I remember I was supposed to defend
Yeah.
it for the second time. This was when I was 20. I was supposed to defend it for the second time, and the guy just didn't turn up on the day. And I'm just like, well, F this. I'm going to I just decided at that point, I was about to turn 21, and I was like, I'm ready for the pro ranks. If no one wants to fight me, then let's get the 4 ounce gloves on, throw some elbows in there, and
Yeah.
see where we end up.
Yeah. I heard in the UK it's a little challenging to get opponents definitely early on in the career. But something also about you is you're a Lithuanian fighter and one of the only ones in all major organizations. So, how important and how much does it mean for you to be able to represent your country in the cage?
Yeah, obviously it means a hell of a lot to me. I go with the moniker "born in Lithuania but bred in Britain." So I hold both. I hold both countries very dear to my heart. Obviously, my main heritage and my ancestry goes back way back through Lithuania and most of like sort of Eastern Europe. So yeah, man, like to be the first male. athlete to be signed by the UFC, and also for the second time now, is a big deal. You know, to be down in the history books. Like whenever people think of the best Lithuanian fighters, my name will always ring true with that title. So it is a big thing for me. Being along the being sort of regarded within the likes of people such as Rose Namajunas, who's another absolutely amazing athlete. I'm nowhere near at the same level as her right now, but obviously that's where I hope to be within the future, where I will be in the future. So yeah, man. And obviously, you can hear by the accent, you can hear by the way I talk, you know, I definitely hold my British heritage very closely to me as well. I want to tend to both the Lithuanian and the British public, and yeah, I'll represent both with the utmost patriotism. So, you know, like I say, although I sound a lot more British, I still hold, like I said, the Lithuanian flag very dear to my heart.
Definitely, man. First for now, and hopefully more to come. And now let's start talking about this fight as you'll be facing Zac Pauga. So, what are your opinions on him as a fighter, and what do you like about his style and his strengths?
Yeah, so he's pretty all rounded. In such a short space of time, he's managed to accumulate a skill set, that's very credible. So he's good in every area, but nothing really stands out, is what I can say. He's very good everywhere, just nothing stands out. Where I've definitely got areas where I've got like some very sort of more spectacular parts of my game that I can
Yeah,
definitely whip out, that and probably parts of my game that people don't even know about yet. So he's a good fighter, but I'm just better. If you're talking skill set wise, pound for pound, skill for skill, I'm just better, and I know that, and I'm going to prove that on June 17th. It's good that we managed to get this fight together. We've both been sort of just talking
yeah,
on Twitter. There's no animosity there, but at the end of the day, we got a job. I got a job to do, and that is to go and finish him, and to go and take my winnings and make my way towards the top. So that's exactly what I'm going to go and do. He's a great athlete, but I definitely see that I can pick him apart with the areas where I definitely have an advantage.
definitely. And you mentioned that you guys messaged each other on Twitter. So, was it easy process to get this fight booked?
Pretty much. I was a bit annoyed that it wasn't in London.
Yeah,
Considering I went to Australia on 2 weeks' notice and beat the hometown guy, I thought I would have, maybe earned my stripes, if you will. But
yeah,
if I still haven't done that, then this is the fight to do it. So I understand that respect is earned, not given. So I need to still earn that respect. In a way, it's quite, I guess you could say nostalgic. This is quite it's almost like a changing of tides. Like the last two times
yeah.
I fought at the Apex haven't gone my way, and now I feel like this is my chance to flip the script. This is my chance to sort of rewrite history in a way. So. This is this is a great opportunity, and yeah, it's essentially, he asked me, like, well, what am I doing in June? I said, listen, why don't you come to London in July, in July? And then the matchmakers just, for whatever reason, appointed it so that we'd fight in June. Fair enough. So it's in his favor, but that's all good because yeah, okay, the fight might be in it, the fight, the date and the place may be in his favor, but nothing else will be in his favor. Everything in that cage is going to be in my favor, and I'm going to go and take him out.
Definitely, man. And I know you fought in the Apex 4, and I know a lot of fighters aren't the biggest fan of the Apex. So, what are your opinions on the Apex as a whole?
I mean, it was very good during COVID. I do feel like they should keep the cage sides the same. I feel like two different cage sizes, it proposes different challenges, but the good thing is now I'm very used to it, because when I fought in Cage Warriors, it was in the same size as the Apex, so it makes no difference to me. Where I spar is also the same size as the Apex, so you know I do like, I just would love to fight in a crowd. That's the only thing, as cool as it is, and it's almost it's like a VIP event. I would much prefer to, I loved it fighting in Australia, having a crowd there. I mean, it's just a whole
Yeah.
different atmosphere. Fighting. But one good thing is I've got three of my very close friends that are actually coming to watch me fight at the Apex, so I know they'll be cheering mad for me. But yeah, So look, it's had its benefits, it has its positives, but there's also certain things that are more favourable to me fighting in a massive arena, which it's an entertainment. It's the entertainment business. It's a sport where you want to wow the crowd. It's a gladiator type situation, and that's what I want to be doing. I want to be fighting in front of large crowds. But I know, again, my time will come. It's just a matter of go and do your job, and then you will get rewarded. So that's it.
Definitely. And you mentioned that three of your close friends are coming. So how much does that mean to you? As especially this is not a close trip for them and they're going all the way out of their way to go watch you fight.
Well, one of them actually. So he's going with his wife this time, but he went with his son to Australia on like a week's
Wow.
notice.
Wow.
I don't even want to tell you how much the ticket cost, but they
Yeah.
both paid to go out there on such short notice to just go and watch me fight. So I thought that was absolutely because obviously I had tickets that were assigned to me. So I
Yeah.
said, listen, if you want to go, like I've got them, and yeah, they straight away said that they wanted to go. So I thought that was really cool. That really and there's another very close friend of mine who also used to train back in the day as well. He's a
Yeah.
very close friend of my dad's. So we I've got a couple of like really close people that are just definitely going to give me that even more that warrior spirit and mentality and energy that I need in the arena. So it's gonna be nice.
Yeah. I mean, it won't be a London crowd, but hopefully they give a good cheer for you. And
Oh
on
yeah,
Monday, I know you originally wanted to fight at UFC 286 when Australia fight was all done and settled with. So this is June 17th, still a short turnaround, and it's not a super long wait. But were you disappointed you weren't able to get back in action a little sooner?
um, I mean, I just go with what is given. I just carry on doing the same thing. I train, you know, I just go day by day, just trying to get better and trying to improve my skill set. I think it makes me even more so a martial artist, just staying ready all the time, just making sure that I'm always trying to get better at what it is that I'm doing. So, you know, like I say, I think I would have loved to. I just would have loved to fought in London, but in on the other hand, I'm glad that I get to fight in June as opposed to July. Um, and yeah, man, like look, everything is a continuation. Everything that I was doing before when I took short notice fights is exactly the same that I'm doing now. So it just almost makes it easier. There's less pressure. There's more. It's just more. Just carry on as normal. And I know some fighters because they've got a family and this and that, they delegate time for a training camp. There is no training camp for me. I'm just always training, and obviously I just ramp up the strength and conditioning certain things whenever the time requires. So yeah, it's a pretty just a standard process for me. But yeah, I do. It is definitely still my dream to fight at the O2 Arena, and I know that is within my future.
Definitely. The UFC comes there a lot as of late, so definitely see that happening near in the future for you. And stylistically, how do you think this fight pans out?
I think I'll finish him. Um, like I say, I really respect his skill set. I think he's a very good fighter. However, I do believe I'm better. And when you believe you are a better fighter, what do you need to go and do? You need to go out there and prove it, and you need to go out there and take them out. And that's exactly what I'm going to go and do. You know, um, you got to show out. You got to do spectacular things. You got to show what you're all about here. Now this is the cream of the crop, the top of the top. This is my second chance, and you best believe I ain't gonna waste this one. So yeah, I'm coming out with full ferocity, and yeah, I believe I'll finish him within 3 rounds.
Definitely should be fun. And on Zach, in his last fight, we saw that he held his opponent a lot and grinded his opponent down against the cage. So, how do you plan on preventing that from happening to you during the fight?
One good way of doing that is probably hitting him in the face. I think that'll probably stop him from wanting to hold me against the cage. I think that's a good tactic.
Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, I'll do what I need to do to stop him. Obviously he may appoint that game plan. He may appoint a different game plan. It's my job to adapt and figure out what to do as it comes whatever the fight presents to me. That's my job as a fighter. That's my job as a martial artist. So that's what I'm going to go and do.
Definitely, man. And you mentioned that you don't really have a training camp as you're always staying busy, always training. So, how's it like training? Because you train with a lot of top guys in England. So how's it like the whole training regimen for you and training with your dad and all these other coaches that build a game plan around you for this fight?
Yeah, I mean, it's I've got very good training partners. Lucas Klinger, who just fought recently, Will Currie, who
Yeah.
fights in Cage Warriors. So I've got a good stable of fighters that are always helping me out, always trying to help me to reach my full potential. I've got good wrestlers as well that I train with, really good jiu-jitsu guys. So I've got all areas covered. And this is why I feel like I don't need to go nowhere. I feel very happy, training in the UK, and I feel like especially in my last fight, my skill sets definitely showed out that I'm here, and I am ready for this level, and I'm ready to show out. So, I'm a very capable athlete. Especially training with the guys I'm training. They're always trying to pinpoint certain things that I'm doing wrong and things that I need to improve on or make better. And yeah, ultimately, it's gonna be a very fun second run in the UFC, and it will definitely lead towards the gold 100%.
Definitely. And you mentioned Will Currie, who's one of your top training partners, and unfortunately did lose his last fight, but he's still young. He's 24. So what do you see the trajectory of Will's career being?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think he'll be the Cage Warriors champion. Sometimes you need to learn things the hard way. I had my fair share of tough lessons that I needed to learn, but it will just make you a better athlete as long as you take those lessons on full swing. You become humbled by it, and then you really try and pinpoint, where did I go wrong, how can I improve, how can I become better, and then you ultimately you do that, you'll become better, and you'll come back and become much stronger. And I'm I'm a great example to him of what it's like to come back. When you got the comeback king on your team, bro, anything is possible. So he's definitely going to win that. He will be in the UFC within the near future. Mark my words.
Yeah.
He'll give him about 2 or 3 years. He'll definitely be there. He's young, he's hungry, he's motivated, and he's a very good friend of mine. So yeah, I do see good things happening for him.
Definitely. He's definitely a phenomenal fighter, but he's also a phenomenal cornersman. So should we expect to see him in the corner again for you?
Yeah. He's going to be there with me. I've got Danny Batten, one of my other coaches, and my dad. So yeah, we got a good team going with us to Vegas.
Awesome, man. And the roles were reversed as you were in the corner for him. So how you like being in the corner for your friends' fights and being able to coach your teammates?
It's a bit of a different experience, because obviously I'm the one who's used to, having a fight, So being in the
Yeah.
corner, I get a little bit more nervous, I would say.
Yeah.
It's a bit more nerve-wracking being there on the sidelines because you just want them to do well, you want them to win. So, and especially it just helps me with even just my coaching, like myself, like to tell the right things, to give the right advice. But yeah, I mean, it's just a different experience, I'm kind of the guy who's used to being in the spotlight in terms of like being the fighter, but not really being in the corner. So it was a new experience, but at the same time, I have the same passion and same energy that, for example, Will would give to me.
Definitely, man. It's definitely also like you can't control what he's doing out there, but you control yourself fighting. So I definitely see the nerves in that situation. And you're a light heavyweight, and a lot of times people are a big debate right now is who's the best light heavyweight in the world. So I was curious on your opinion on that right now.
I'm the best light heavyweight in the world, and I'm going to show it, mate. I mean, look, obviously, if you're, if you're thinking about, like, who's right now in terms of the top 15, obviously Jamal Hill, he's the champ. What do you expect? But it's our job, rising up to go and take these guys out. So yeah, he's very talented. So at the moment he is the best, but give it a couple of years and that will change.
Love to hear it, man. And my final question for you is past president, what would be your dream fight?
John Jones,
Jones.
just because he is the GOAT. He is the best out there. He's got the most well-rounded skill set. I have trained with him before. He's a very nice guy. Great athlete. Great character. And yeah, it'll be. I mean, listen, when your idols become rivals, it's a
Yeah.
crazy, it's a crazy spectacular thing. It's almost like you're like wowed and starstruck. But at the end of the day, you got to go and do the job. So if you're talking about like a fantasy fight that would just like literally like give you goosebumps, it would be that one.
Yeah, definitely, man. Is there anything you want to plug before you head out of here?
Nothing. I just want to say thank you to all my friends, all my family, all of my supporters, for staying strong with me, and obviously also all my training partners and all the gyms that I train with. You guys have been instrumental in getting me to where I am, and here we go. We're ready to go out to Vegas to go and do some damage.
I'm excited, man. I want to thank you for coming on. I wish you the best luck in June. Folks, that'll be all for today. Until next time.